Hey fellow Force users, what is up? It's Ahsoka Tano fan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Long time no see. As you guys know, recently a bunch of news dropped from Disney involving honestly multiple franchises, but you know the one that I'm most interested in, which is Star Wars. As much as I really wanted to do a live reaction of the event, it just was not possible for me because I was at work. I actually work at a hospital, for those of you who don't know, and so my hours are all over the place, especially during the pandemic times. So basically, I had seen the news break over Twitter. I don't know everything, but I pretty much know what the confirmed shows were, especially the Ahsoka Show, which I am super excited about and I'll get to in a second. But yeah, I saw a couple other news headlines like Hayden Christensen coming back. What I have not done though is actually watch the live stream event. I actually have it up on my laptop here. I'm gonna be looking at that for the first time. I figured better late than never. Let's get right on to the reaction. Well, if you call it a reaction, a semi-reaction, since I kind of know somewhat what's gonna be in the video. So let's get right to it. It's like a 3.5 hour long event, it looks like. So I kind of tried to skip a little bit to see what looked like they were talking about Star Wars. And I think I have the correct timestamp.
Please welcome Kathleen Kennedy.
Okay. I wish I saw this when it actually dropped.
Reflect on all that's happened since we last gathered in April of 2019. Our world and our
been that
entire
long. Wow.
industry challenges
Depressing.
that none of us could have foreseen, and the joy of entertainment more than ever before.
I agree, Kathleen
Last
Kennedy.
year, we were looking ahead to the launch of Disney Plus, a new platform.
I like the music.
Creating an original was a big bet and a leap of faith. The Mandalorian debuted
really
on
was.
Disney Plus in November of 2019, and there's more.
That dark saber.
Audiences around the world have joined the
Bo-Katan.
on Disney Plus, a complete
Ahsoka.
experience.
Well, I guess they're giving a trailer for people who haven't watched it. You need to get him back, Mando. Still not over that scene. Oh my god, the spiders again. Oh, they could have done without showing that. Dark Troopers, yes. It's a really good trailer. It doesn't really fully give away what the story's about for those people who haven't watched it before. So it's quite good. Boba? Want mine. Yes, Boba. Wow, good trailer. Ah.
Fan favorite, Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, that's the one.
In the timeline of the Mandalorian.
Oh,
Connected shows, along with future fashion,
wow, guys.
will culminate in
Just seeing it like that makes it so real.
Disney Plus for
Oh,
fiscal
man.
2020.
10 years ago, I would have never thought
Unfortunately,
they would have made this leap.
surrounded by incredible talent, both in front of
It's amazing.
and behind the camera.
Yes.
The new virtual production
This is how they film their scenes.
the latest in
That's incredible. Because you can essentially tell a story anywhere without having to worry about traveling, especially during the pandemic. So this technology is actually really amazing. It's really clever. Oh, Ahsoka's lightsaber looked different there. Wow. Oh, this is Ahsoka there in the bottom. And Amal at the top. Okay, this is about Cassian Andor, right? I think a lot of people were kind of skeptical about this because they kind of found him not that big a character, but who knows, it could surprise us. It could be really good. Oh, she's gonna be in it, Mon Mothma. Oh, we're getting a look too. Okay. I haven't actually seen this trailer yet, so this is the first time. Oh. Wow. So much work goes into these shows and movies. You don't even realize it till you watch this. Wow. It actually looks really good. I guess I just wonder why make a series about a character that you know is already dead. Because it kind of limits you in a sense, but as I said, it could be really good. Obi-Wan. Oh. Yes, this news I did hear. Wow. Okay, March. They're giving us a look too? Oh, is this the Bad Batch? Okay, this I'm actually excited to see this trailer. Okay. Look at the animation. Oh my gosh. Whoa. So there's a Geary in there. Are they going against each other? Wow. See his yellow eyes too. It's amazing. Okay, hang on. Is that Fennec Shand? Because isn't that the same outfit she wore in the tragedy, The Mandalorian? Is it a Sarlacc? Whoa, that was a lot to take in. I feel like I have a lot to say about that. Wow, and I love how the title kind of burns away the Clone Wars and you see the Bad Batch. Wow. Wow, we're getting Lando too? I didn't see this on Twitter, I feel like. The High Republic era. Whoa. Really? Right. Mm-hmm. She directed Wonder Woman too, right? Yes. Wow. Wow. Look at Ahsoka just at the center there. Okay, that was a lot to take in actually. Wow. I'm so glad I watched that actually because I had seen some stuff on Twitter like different announcements like Hayden coming back, but I hadn't actually watched the event like that and seen all the special looks they gave us and the behind the scenes. So that was really cool to see. I really enjoyed that. I love seeing the behind the scenes shots, especially from season 2 and how they use that technology. I think it was called stagecraft technology. I saw a glimpse of that also from the other special they had on Disney Plus where they explored behind the scenes from season 1. To see that same setting in season 2 was kind of cool. It kind of allowed me to relive those scenes, I feel like, and just seeing how it all came together was amazing. Why travel to this country and travel to this city when you can just go to the same place every time and just change up your scenery using that technology? So that's brilliant. I'm glad to hear they're expanding that, and who knows how far they can go with that. And it may even be the future of filming. I love the Bad Batch series, that whole segment. First of all, let's talk about that trailer for a second. The animation looked amazing, and I love that it's Clone Wars style, which is kind of to be expected because it just makes me super nostalgic. I essentially feel like I'm watching a continuation of the Clone Wars, you know, and it makes me wonder if there are going to be any Clone Wars characters like Ahsoka that might show up, because we know during that same time Ahsoka and Rex are on their own now, right? So they very well could have her appear, and they could have other characters appear as well. I love that we're seeing the fallout of Order 66 from a clone perspective. It's really effective. From a clone perspective, it's really effective. And you saw that whole speech that Palpatine gave that we recognize from the Revenge of the Sith movie, but we're seeing it now from their perspective. It's hard for me to actually tell whether or not they carried out Order 66. I'm still gonna say they probably didn't, but at the end of the trailer, it looks like they were with Tarkin there. So I don't know if maybe they're just kind of pretending to be on the Empire's side, but really they're doing their own thing, or if the Empire enlists their help for certain missions. Love that we saw the Zygerian there. That definitely reminded me of the Clone Wars Zygerian arc. And I'm pretty positive that that was a younger Fennec Shand in that trailer, because the outfit was very similar to what she wore in the tragedy of that just aired last week on The Mandalorian. I feel like what they're essentially doing with all these series is tying them together and kind of having characters cross over, and in order, I guess, to kind of contribute to further character development, which is a pretty good route to take. I feel like that's what Marvel does often. The other big announcement for me was the Kenobi series, which, okay, I did know this ahead of time, but the fact that Hayden Christensen is returning is huge. Yeah, I almost don't even know how to process that. So we know that it's going to be set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So does that mean he's going to appear in flashbacks or in the present time? Most likely I'm thinking in the present time, but I'm just I'm wondering how that's going to play out because he's Darth Vader now, right? So that means he would have to have James Earl Jones's voice, but I guess Hayden will be the one actually wearing the Darth Vader suit. We have to hear him speak at some point, I believe. So I feel like there has to be flashbacks in a way. I'm definitely looking forward to exploring how Obi-Wan processed that because it all happened so fast in Revenge of the Sith, and then we don't see Obi-Wan again. Well, we do see him in Rebels, but we don't see him on the big screen again until A New Hope when he duels Darth Vader. So it's good that they're thinking of a way to show how he processed the time in between because it was a huge loss for him, obviously, having to deal with his best friend turning to the dark side and becoming everything that he swore against, essentially, right? Call me biased, but I am wondering if Ahsoka could show up in this series as well. It would be right in the same timeline as when her and Rex were on their own after Order 66, and that is also where the Ahsoka book takes place in the timeline as well. So they could bring her in there too. I don't know if they'll want to overuse her, so to speak. So maybe they might more so focus on Ahsoka after the original trilogy, with Rosario Dawson playing her and kind of exploring older Ahsoka versus younger Clone Wars pre-Rebels era Ahsoka. I'm going to be happy no matter what if we see as much of my girl as possible. The Acolyte show actually seems like it'd be interesting because she said, Kathleen Kennedy, that it takes place during the High Republic era, which is supposed to be set before the prequel era. And one of the things I've always thought about Star Wars is that they should really explore the pre-prequel era, pre-Skywalker saga, because there's so much more to Star Wars than just the Skywalker saga. And I feel like they've kind of mostly just been focusing on that over the past years. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing that. That might be a show that I check out. The Cassian Andor series. Now I know this was one that a lot of people were kind of iffy about because, as I mentioned before, he is a character obviously that died in Rogue One. So I've always kind of thought it's a little bit strange to do a series of a character that's already died. They could really surprise us. You really never know. They are trying to really connect Star Wars together and not have them as separate movies and separate TV shows. So if they felt that they wanted to go ahead with this, I'm betting that there is something in that series that is definitely worth watching. And of course, you know I had to save the best for last. The Ahsoka Show. Honestly, hearing about it was not the same as actually seeing it there. I wish that I could have watched that live before hearing about it, but just seeing the logo there, it feels honestly unreal from a fan perspective because, as I mentioned during the reaction, 10 years ago this was not even a discussion, and I remember almost feeling frustrated because you would have Saw Gerrera given his live action debut in Rogue One, but you wouldn't have Ahsoka, who was a much bigger character, to be honest. And so the fact that they're finally giving her what she deserves is just really exciting. I can't wait to see that series, obviously. I think that goes without saying. I assume it's going to be about Ezra, Thrawn, and Sabine and that storyline. And it looks like the other series, Rangers of the Republic, might be taking place at the same time as well. So it's kind of all on the same timeline. It looks like the Ahsoka spin-off series and the Star Wars Rangers of the Republic series, as well as The Mandalorian. I can easily see them doing crossovers in that sense. I think they even might have mentioned that they're going to do crossovers. I can't lie though, the one question I did have was, what would this mean for the rumored Rebels animated sequel series? And if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that I brought this up before, where I have questions regarding that rumored series and whether it's even happening at all, because it would kind of seem redundant to have two shows starring Ahsoka, both set in the Mandalorian timeline. And so the fact that they've confirmed the live action Ahsoka series kind of makes me wonder if they're going to even go ahead with the animated series at all, or maybe the live action series will be setting up the animated series, or vice versa. Either way, I would still love to have the animated series. I can't help it. I am a sucker for animation. I like my animated series, like my Clone Wars, like my Rebels. If we could get both that and live action, that would be amazing. But yeah, I'm not sure how they would fit it into the storyline, given that they seem to already have the spin-off shows that are set in the Mandalorian timeline. We didn't hear anything about the rumored Bo-Katan series, the Boba Fett series, or Cara Dune series. Although I feel as though this is probably not going to be the end of announcements. This is probably just the beginning phase. So I expect there to be more updates in the coming months or the coming year, because I do feel like we'll probably still be getting those series. We know from watching The Mandalorian that they're pretty much setting up Bo-Katan with her own story, unless her story concludes in The Mandalorian season finale. That's a possibility, but why go through all that trouble to have her character make her debut for one episode only to conclude her story within the same TV show? It just doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't seem like it's the direction they're taking. It seems like they're using The Mandalorian kind of as a base to set up a bunch of different spin-off series. So I don't see why Bo-Katan, Boba Fett, or Cara Dune would be any different in that sense. Yeah, overall, guys, there's literally so much news there. It's hard to talk about everything and take it all in. I feel like I was given a bunch of Christmas gifts. Christmas came early or something. What a time to be a fan of Star Wars. Disney is really doing a good job, in my opinion, with the franchise now. I think they made some mistakes with the sequel trilogy, and perhaps they realized that and are now kind of trying to make up for that in a sense. Not that the sequel trilogy was bad. It honestly was still good and very enjoyable, but there are certain characters that they could have developed better, in my opinion, including Rey, including Finn, including Captain Phasma, who they killed off in 2 seconds, and Snoke, and so I think that they are really trying to take advantage of making all these TV series to bring us that character development that was lacking a little bit in the sequel trilogy. I think the future of Star Wars is looking really good in that sense. With COVID, I think it's even further allowed them to see how well their online streaming service is doing and their live action series are doing. That seems to be the reason why they are so adamant on continuing on in this direction and making the future of Star Wars really revolve around online streaming. And yeah, it's working out well for them. I am really excited for the upcoming years, to say the least. I love my Jedi, I love my Sith, I love my lightsaber duels, and most likely the series that's going to bring those to us are going to be the Ahsoka series and the Obi-Wan series. So those are the two that I am looking forward to the most, obviously. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of the news? And are you excited? Are you disappointed? Was there anything you were hoping to hear and didn't? As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I will do the same back, and I will respond to as many comments as always. And until next time, guys, take care. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.